Hey everybody, I'm Dave with Growing the Home Garden. Today I'm going to just go around in the garden, take a quick look around, check on some things, see what's going on. It's been raining for like a week every single day, has had some sort of amount of rain in it, and today is no exception. It's actually misting currently while I'm out here. But I just wanted to get out here, take a look, check on the plants, and see how things are growing. One very exciting thing is the blueberries are beginning to start ripening, so that means we're going to have to come out here and cover them, because I've always found that if I don't do that, the cardinals end up coming and eating all the berries. So I like having the birds around, but this food isn't for them, it's for us. So we have to find a way to protect the fruit from that, and you can do that in a lot of ways. You can do it through bird netting. That's a very popular choice. You can also do it through like a row cover, which is probably what we're going to do, because I've got a big long roll of row cover in my shed. So over here in the pepper bed, they are growing well. They're doing great. These here, I believe, are the orange bell peppers on this end of the bed. And over a little further down, you can see the serrano pepper is just doing fantastic. He's doing awesome. And we got some more spicy peppers over here, the jalapenos. Those are from seeds I saved way back in 2013. And I've kept them in the refrigerator all this time. Over there, we've got some brown jalapeno. Those are new seeds to me this year. And let's see, those are both brown jalapeno. Tabasco pepper is doing great. And we have some mini stuffing peppers that are doing really good. This was the first bed I planted with peppers this year, and I've got one other bed with peppers that are not nearly this far along. So here is the other bed of peppers, and as you can see, there is some damage, which I know what it's from, and it's slugs. Slugs have been terrible this year. They've been in and out of everything. They're not going to hurt the plant long term, because these things are going to take off really fast, but you can see there's a lot of leaf damage, a lot of holes, and a sure sign of slug damage is when you see something like this, where there's a big chunk and holes in the middle of the leaves, right like that. That is definitely slug damage. Slugs like to hide underneath things, and there's lots of different ways you can get rid of slugs. Sometimes putting something around the base of the plant does well. Something like sand, diatomaceous earth, something like that, because they don't like crawling across it. I've heard copper works, but I've never tried that or tested it. A lot of people will use the beer trap method too. That's where you put some beer into a little dish and put it out there, and they fall into the beer and die and drown. So I guess that's one way you can go. Over here is our potatoes. And I actually had to come through and do a replanting of potatoes, because the first batch did not want to show up, but the second batch is doing fantastic. A lot of these are purple potatoes, and we've got some red potato and some Yukon Gold that hopefully are all growing nice and fantastic inside this bed here. The daikon radishes are doing amazing right now. I've thinned them a little bit. I need to probably thin them a little bit more to grow on some larger types, but we can eat those as roasted vegetables in the kitchen. And right next to them, I've got a large crop of mustard, which is ready to go. I need to go ahead and cut this down and take it out. It's starting to form flowers, and I want to use this bed for some other things. So we actually didn't really partake of this. I think I'm the only one in the family who really likes the mustard. But we did sample it when we're out here. And these are a couple of little blueberry bushes that we bought at the end of the year last year, and they've got some small blueberries on them. I need to actually pot them up into some larger size pots. Over here you can see our atomic orange corn is coming up really well. We've got it kind of thickly planted, and we're probably going to have to transplant a few to fill in some holes. So that shouldn't be a big deal, but we do have a lot of weeds that are starting to come up. And it's actually increasing the rain right now, so I'm going to hurry up and see if I can show you a little bit more of the garden here today before too much rain comes down. Tomatoes are looking good, all planted in their cages. This one's a Woodle Orange. It's planted near some compost, and then this other one here I believe is Pink Jazz. The label's facing the other direction. I'm pretty sure that's what it is though. You saw the video on the bamboo for garden projects that I collected. We found bamboo down the street from us, and it's been sitting out beside the garden for a while, and all the leaves dropped. So I'm going to take those leaves and I'm going to use them as a mulch right over here next to the tomatoes. Here's one big boy tomato that's doing great, and there's another one right next to it. In between them, I've got some garlic that's just kind of randomly popped up from garlic that I've missed harvesting previous years. So that's not a problem. That's a really cool thing to happen when you forget something and it comes up again later. Next to those, you can see the mustard seed is all covered in pods. So it won't be too long before those seeds are harvestable. And I mean, we could grind them and make our own ground mustard if we wanted to, or we could just save the seed and use them again next year to plant another crop. Now over here, these are some of the first tomatoes I planted this year. These are Amish paste, and I've got 3 of them next to each other, and they are doing amazing. They are huge right now. So I guess the growing conditions has been perfect for them right here in this location. Probably the soil and combination of things. But I limb them up from the bottom. I talked about that in another video not too long ago. And I also like to do companion plantings. You'll notice right here we've got a red Rubin basil right next to it. And basil is one of my favorite companion plantings for tomatoes because basil, it has a way of masking the plant from predator. When I say predators, I mean your tomato predators, your things like hornworms and things that like to eat the tomato leaves. But I rarely have any issue with tomato hornworms. It's been a long, long time in this garden since I've had a hornworm problem on my tomatoes. And I attribute a lot of that to just companion planting of different things. And if I turn around, you'll see the other companion planting of the cilantro has done really well. It's a little saggy right now because of the moisture in the air, but it is a fantastic plant to have for companion planting. And I'll show you, there's a little bee right here if I can get him. Oh, he disappeared on me. But there are little teeny tiny bees that like to rest on these flowers and take the pollen from them, and it's just a great thing to have in the garden. Right next to them I have some snap peas that are growing really good. I'm just about to get some flowers off of these snap peas, so we haven't harvested anything from it yet, but they're growing strong. But around the corner, our snow peas are doing great. We have been harvesting from them, and you can check out those things there. They're extremely tasty. Highly recommend them. And I'm using a tomato cage here. I say a tomato cage. Please note that that's not really good for tomato cages, but these are perfect for growing beans and peas on. They make a really good trellis for that. So there is some use for these. If you bought them, use them for your peas. Get 5 or 6 of them out there, put about 4 or 5 peas in the bottom in the soil area, and they'll grow on these very good. Actually, I'll show you right here. Look at that. That ugly thing is a slug that's trying to eat my plant. So you can see we've just had so much rain and so much moisture, it's created a really good environment for those slugs. I'm gonna have to do something about them. We've got some randomly planted kale in different locations. It's good to diversify some plants and put them all over in your garden beds where you want them. Over here we are just now starting to get some zucchini flowers. See right in there. And I did a video a while back that was about zucchini flowers, and because a lot of times what happens first is you get a lot of male flowers. They have male flowers and they have female flowers, but the male flowers appear first, and the purpose of that for the plant is to say, hey pollinators, we're here. So the pollinators start coming. They get attracted to those flowers, and then hopefully your plant will start generating another set of flowers that are female. And you'll notice that they're female by a little bit of an oval shaped growth just where the stem attaches to the base of the flower. So I can't really tell right now because these flowers are so small, these buds. They are probably all male, but we'll see how that turns out. And that's the same for most of your cucurbits, your squash, your zucchini, and all those kind of plants like that. So anyway, you can go take a look back at that video for a little bit more of an explanation on it. And I'm going to move over here, show you the squash real quick. We've got a couple of them. It's time for me to put another succession planting of these in the garden next. I've got a couple more spots for them. These little squash babies are from what I call trombetta squash. It is a really delicious squash, but the really cool thing about it is the squash can be a couple feet long. It is great when fried up like you would a zucchini, but the plant is so prolific. It just goes and goes and goes. So what the plan is for it is it's going to grow along our posts around the outside of the vegetable garden, and we're going to trellis it up to just kind of be up in the air and grow the squash off of that, kind of go vertical instead of horizontal here, because it probably could take over the ground area, but I'd rather have it up where it's going to have better airflow and fewer fungal diseases and things like that could bother it. But it is prolific. We'll probably have more than we need. I hope you enjoyed that quick walk through the garden in the rain. It's starting to come down a little heavier, so I think I'm going to end this video here. But thanks for watching. Please, I invite you to subscribe. We'll have more content coming down the road, show you how the garden's growing, some tips and things along the way, a little bit of plant propagation. That's all the stuff I enjoy getting into, so I'll share it with you, and hopefully we can learn some things together. So I'm Dave with Growing the Home Garden. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe. We'll talk to you later.